What up, everybody?
What up, everybody? What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Everybody, let's talk about it. All right, Gigi said Consecration Sunday one more time. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is Greenleaf, Season 5, Episode 5. All right, so we don't have a whole lot to talk about this episode. I mean, it was okay. We got a little forward movement. But yeah. Oh, we did get hooked up with another character that went away and came back, honey. Here come Rochelle to raise hell. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna go character by character because I didn't take extensive notes. I just got like 1 page of notes. I'll be having like 5 pages of notes. Because it wasn't a whole lot that happened this episode. So let's talk about Bishop and AJ. So Bishop and AJ starting to form a little relationship. You see how they trying to slide AJ in on it. They trying to make us like him. Now all of a sudden he's smiling all the time. I'm like, nigga, how you went from being sad all the time to now you happy all the time? Okay. AJ comes to a brunch. They have a church service and they have a brunch at the house like they planned on. And he comes to the church service and you know Lady May is just so happy to see him there. And him and Bishop, they go outside because Bishop asks them how he's doing and you know how's everything going with the treatment or whatever, and he says something, I don't exactly remember what he said, but you know basically everything is in pieces. You know, I gotta put the pieces back together. We gonna put them back together one by one, brick by brick, step by step, day by day. Okay, we gonna put it back together, honey. I don't know what the child said. So Bishop say follow me. He took him outside and told him this story about his father and how he told his father he wanted this Pontiac. Was it a Pontiac GTO? I think it was. He wanted, and his dad said just keep praying. And then eventually he pulled up, he woke him up and said, you know, your prayers have come true. So he bought him the car, but he bought it in pieces and they would have to put it back together. He said, but I never even, you know, took the time to open this box up at all. So he's like, okay. He's like, well, I don't know how to put together no cars. He said, well, neither do I. But you know, if you help me put together this car, you can have it. It's yours. So we see that AJ is forming a relationship with his new grandfather and it's very cute. Later on that day, they sit down and talk, and you know, he kind of sees what's going on in the household or whatever. And he said to him that you don't know this now. People think that the Bible is some sort of rule book. They try to break down religion as some sort of rule book or whatever. He was like, but God is an experience, and you will see soon that Jesus is real. I said, I know the Lord is real to me. Hey, Jesus is real. I know the Lord. Yeah. Gigi wakes up Sophia in the morning, and Sophia is upset. She been up all night. She don't want to go to the service because she's been dealing with girls texting her from Hampton all night. So basically, you know, the picture that she sent to the boy, another person that followed him took a screenshot of the picture. Y'all, is a convoluted. Took a screenshot of the picture. And he sent the picture to all of Hampton. So everybody in Hampton has seen the picture and know about the picture. So her mom doesn't know that, but that's what's going on. So she eventually goes downstairs to the service and she's telling Zora what happened. And she's saying, well, you know, if I go back, And Zora's like, what you mean? If, like, you're not going to go back? And she's like, no, I mean, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going back. The only reason I went there was to get away from here, okay? So later on in the episode, Charity asks Zora and Sophia to watch her baby. She has to go do something. And and right when they sit down, because apparently Sophia doesn't like babies because she can't have a baby. I was like, don't do that baby. Like, that baby ain't did nothing to you, okay? Now, don't do the baby like that, okay? Don't punish the babies. Don't do that. She sits down with the baby, you know, but she real standoffish. She ain't dealing with the baby like that. But Zora gets called out of the room by her parents, so she has to stay with the baby. So she's playing with the baby, and later on, AJ comes around, and he's like, listen, just tell me what's wrong. Like, what's going on? I hung around here for you, so tell me what's going on. So after a back and forth and a little play attitude, you know, if your, you know, thing was all over the internet, basically, before you come at me, you know what I'm saying, deal with that. Like, she be doing the most. Like, girl, just tell the boy what's wrong, because we went through all these histrionics last week with something was wrong with him. Like, girl, you trying us, okay? We don't have time for this. So she tells him that, you know, he asked her what she want. Well, I don't want. He said, well, don't tell me what you don't want. I want to hear what you want. Well, I want all the pictures to be gone from the internet. Well, good sis, that's probably not going to happen. What do you want that you can control? And she says, okay, well, I just want to stay here. And he tells her, listen, if we had all grew up together in this house, we were skipping around together, you know, catching tadpoles. At some point, we will all have to be adults and move up out of the house. Okay, he said, look around, look at your aunties and uncles. Grown people should not be living in their mama house this long. And I agree with him on that one, okay? I agree with him. And she kind of give a little chuckle. Like, you're going to have to grow up and you're going to have to take your sorry self with you. Wherever you go, whatever you've done, you made the decision to send out your titty picture with your face in it, girl. Why would you do that? You never put your face, girl. Deniability, honey. So put your face in it. And, you know, things went haywire. And, you know, you was trying to do a get back and, you know, a buck up. And this what happened. You played yourself. You're not that kind of girl. This is not the life for you. Zora tried to tell you, this ain't what you want, sis. And, you know what I mean? It's a hard lesson. Because you lost your virginity, too. Because that's, you know, it's a hard lesson, girl. But I hope that you learned it. I don't know. So let's skip on over to Miss Zora. Not much happened with Zora this episode. The only thing that really happened is that her parents pulled her out of the room and they told her that they're getting a divorce. And she's like, it's not your fault. Like, she's so sarcastic. I kind of love Zora and hate her at the same time because she's really funny. But she's like, well, you know, what y'all think I'm gonna say? Don't do it. You know, you should have been did it a long time ago. And so she goes to kind of blame Jacob for everything, which he rightfully deserves because he did a lot, okay? But, you know, Zora's mom, she does say, well, you know, it's my fault too. We both fell short or whatever. So Zora put it together. She like, nah, I just want to get up out of here. Because it's like, I know she don't want them to get a divorce, but she trying to act like she don't care. But we know that you care because you're a teenager. You don't want your parents to get a divorce, right? So she runs out of the room. She goes to her apartment. And I was like, don't call that boy because she had that phone. I was like, girl, okay, like don't make no stupid decision. Now she look at the picture and she's crying. She turned her thing over, and then Gigi comes over to the house to ask her to find that box that she's looking for that we'll talk about. That's pretty much it with Zora's storyline. You know, she asked her if she's okay, and you know she's like, you can talk to me if you need to. You know, good auntie, give her a kiss or whatever. So I felt bad for Zora on this episode. So while we're talking about that, let's go ahead and talk about well, you know what? We'll come back to that. Let's talk about Jacob and Carissa. This episode, not too much changed either. They went to the church service in the morning. Before they got there, she was like, okay, we're going to tell Zora, you know, what's going on after the brunch today. And he was like, yes, you know, full steam ahead. And Carissa's still like, you know, pouting and stuff. I mean, like I said, at this point, I don't know what's going to turn him around. I think that his mom is going to have to tell him that, you know, that Gigi ain't his sister, and maybe he will give her some grace because he need to forgive her. At this point, he should forgive her even if they don't stay married, because he did a lot of dirt. Like, sir, you gonna hold this over this lady head forever? Like, that's what you're gonna do? Okay. They go down to the church service, and you know, Carissa got something smart to say, child, when the service is going. I'm like, Carissa, and he like, here you go. You can't never miss the opportunity. Well, we gonna get into it in front of everybody. And Bishop is like, Carissa, now when I met you, you was a woman of impeccable faith. Okay, so why don't you focus on what the Lord has done for you and settle down? I said, okay, get her together. Please tell her to calm down. And Jacob said something. He was like, you too. Like, Jacob, don't say nothing else. Okay, don't add nothing on. I didn't need that. We didn't need that. They going back, you know, she give her word and all of that. So after that, after they tell Zora, we've already talked about that. When Zora gets up to leave, she tells him, I'm still willing to call this whole thing off, but, you know, if you after we tell Winky tomorrow, that's it. I'm done. You know, it's not going to be nothing. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to put him through that for nothing. Well, she got up and left, and he says understood. So I don't know if he's still contemplating staying together. Like, I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, child. I don't know. I don't know if I should pray for them or just be glad they ain't gonna be together no more, child. What y'all think? Should they stay together? Should they break up? Like I said, I think he should forgive her either way, because, sir, you cheated on that lady for 20 years. Cut it. She cheated on you one time now, okay? And she did bring home an STD. Now that adds some extra on it. We can count that for like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? But you cheated like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You know what I mean? Like, you cheated a lot of times. Come on. I mean, let it go, sir. At this point, like, you still shouldn't be like so mad. You know what I mean? He did a whole lot. You should have some perspective. And several people have told you how you've done a whole lot, and you just need to have some perspective. I don't know, child. I don't know what to do. Y'all tell me what y'all think should be done. That was pretty much it with Miss Carissa. So, as far as Lady Mae, this episode she goes to see Tanya. She gets to go see Tanya. She goes around the place and she basically kind of insults her and it's like, why you never wanted to do more than this? And she was like, well, you know, I prefer to be like Jesus. He never built a temple. You know, he didn't ask for tithes. He just can't help the people who came to him. So that's what I'm going to do. And, you know, Tanya is real nice, but I feel like Tanya, she mean what she say. But then, you know, she got a family member that's in her ear as well. So, anywho, she said if the house could be used, you know, if anything, she said, I don't have a valid legal claim to the house. I know that. But if it's any way that it could be mine or whatever, our families, then I could use it. It could be a shelter. It could be this, that, and the other. And then this kind of turns Lady Mae's attitude. And she's like, you know what? I just prayed to God for new beginnings or a new start. And she was like, he has a sense of humor. Basically saying God is like, well, if you want a new start, you can have a new start. You can move out that house. You get out that church. You can start all over again from scratch. Okay? So, she tells her you're doing great work here and she leaves. So, and when she gets home, Bishop is like, okay, well, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? How did it go? And she was like, I think that we should give her the house. And he's like, what? And she was like, the Lord is telling me, you know, that we need to give her the house. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He ain't told me nothing. Now, let's go back. So let's talk about Grace and AJ and Noah. So Grace and Noah. So Grace and Noah kind of hanging out a little bit this episode. Now they was getting a little cozy, you know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, I was like, I thought you was liking Daryl or whatever his name is, Darius, that's going off, you know. But yeah, they was getting a little, you know, cozy this episode. So he comes on over for the brunch, you know, in church, and AJ is with him. You remember AJ is staying with him, and he talks to her after, and she's basically told him everything that's happened, everything that's going on. So they got to find this evidence or the church is going to be torn down on Tuesday. And so he tells her she looks tired, everything that's going on. So he convinces her to take a nap on his lap, which I thought was sweet and nice or whatever. And he's trying to get back in there. So, you know, we see him making his moves. We see, you know, we see what you're trying to do, baby. Okay. So, he lets her take a nap on his lap. And when she wakes up, he said, I had some time to think, because he was like, why would Miss Davis give Daryl James the house? And she was like, I don't know. I mean, nobody knows why or whatever. So after she wakes up, he said, I had some time to think. When I was living in the cabin, I found a journal, and it was a ledger that the caretaker there used. And he said, and most of it was like just ledger stuff, like what did you do on the property? But he said there was also plans that he was drawing up on the house, as if like he thought he was going to get the house when the lady passed away. He was drawing up plans of what he wanted the house to look like. And then he was also taking notations of that Negro came over today. That Negro came over today. That Negro came over today. So, he was monitoring, you know, who was coming in the house. And he was like, what if that Negro was Daryl James? Okay, so my theory is, well, let me go ahead and finish the story. So later on, she goes over to the cottage, like I said, with Zora. And after she talks to Zora, she goes into the room and gets the journal out. And we can see that it has plans he was drawing out, you know, blueprints or whatever he wanted to do. And then he had the notations that he had found it or whatever. So something tells me that this caretaker is the person who killed Daryl James, that he's either overheard through snooping or found out some type of way that Miss Davis was messing around. Okay, she was either messing around with Daryl James, because that Negro came over today. Why the Negro keep coming to your house? Okay, so unless something was going on, or Mr. James was scamming, you know, Miss Davis, or whatever he was doing to try to get the house, or they was hunching. It was one of the two, baby. Okay, so once he found out that he was going to get that house some kind of way, he done worked out a plan to set the church up, or, you know, to get the man to call him to go to the church or whatever. And, cause it don't mean he called him from the church. He could have called him from the house and said, go to the church. You know what I'm saying? And, he is the one who killed Daryl James. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. And that's what it's going to come to. And after he died, some kind of way it didn't happen where the man couldn't collect the money or get the house because it was given, you know, Max stepped in and did some, you know, shady stuff after the fact. I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to tell us that, but that's my theory. Okay, so that's my theory about how everything went down. I want to hear what y'all think about that. Oh, so I forgot like 2 things. So, Charity talked to Phil's father. She talked to him. She explained everything that was going on with the situation, but he still hung the phone up on her. I mean, I guess I probably could have skipped it because nothing happened, but you know, I just thought I would mention that. And funny things that happened in the episode. Corinne's grandmother was calling her throughout the whole service, telling her that basically the service was a disaster. The choir sound like some dying chickens, okay? And they were standing outside. They had a wrecking ball outside the church right when everybody came out. And Phil and Julie were out there taking pictures. Plus, Julie was singing, I Believe, in the church. Child, a whole mess, okay? Just all kind of foolishness is going on. So I don't even know if they're going to have nobody at church next week because sound like church was a hot-ass mess. All right, I think that's everything I missed. So, you know, let me know if I missed anything else, y'all. Put that in the comments. Bishop and Lady Mae, they have this argument because Bishop went to Gigi and asked if she would give money, basically saying we want to offer them a payout or whatever. And so she goes to them and says, well, how much y'all need or whatever. And he's like, how much you got? So he tells Lady Mae this after everything the whole night, and Lady Mae is like, I don't want to take money from her. I don't want to take money and pay over this. I want my new church to be built on truth. And you know, I lied to my whole family for 40 years, and that money is a representation of that, is what she's saying. And she's saying, you know, she wants her church to be founded, you know, in truth and not in lies and all kind of foolishness. And he's like, listen, I understand what you're saying, but you know what I'm saying? We got to get out of the situation. We're going to get put out of the house. And he was like, we're going to give her the house. That's it. She's like, we're going to give her the house. Charity interrupts them and said that they're going down to the church to say thank you. So they say they're going to go out there, and Charity has kept an extra key from her job. And so she's walking them all over the building, and, you know, Bishop says a few words in the pulpit, and, you know, they kind of make peace with the church and they all leave. And they make peace with the church, and Bishop says that he has a part of him that serves only Lady Mae. He be saying he be trying to serve the Lord, but you know, it's a part of him that serves only Lady Mae, and they're gonna give her the house. Okay, so after they leave that situation, they go over to Tanya to tell her that they're going to give her the house. And right as they're walking up the stairs, they knock on the door. She's like, God's going to make a way. It's just going to be just like we were in the beginning, you know, because I'm sure they have a sizable amount of money. They can buy them a home and they would be just fine. You know, it wouldn't be this luxurious home they live in now, I'm sure, but it would be a nice home. You know, they would be just fine. They probably couldn't pay for all their kids' lives, okay, but they would be just fine. And so, Tanya opens the door, and you know, they're just as they're about to give her exactly what she wants, child, here come Rochelle stinking her ass out the building. I see you, bitch. She's saying something smart about, you know, the green leaves like a rash, you know, they always come back or something like that. And she calls her car up, and you know, the car comes around and picks her up, honey. So Miss Rochelle is in the mix. Lady Mae face changed in one instant. She was like, girl, what type of scam you trying to run? So Tanya was about to get everything she wanted, baby. We was going to have a benevolent end, and they was just going to give it to you, girl. And now look at you, girl. Now look at you. Now y'all going to have to fight them for them. They ain't no way they going to be able to prove it. They ain't going to win. It looks like I said, this caretaker was planning on doing the same thing Mac did. Okay, I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me what your theories are with this new caretaker plot situation that's happening, okay? I don't think I missed anything. Did I miss anything? Money, Bishop. I don't think I missed nothing, but if I did, I'm sure y'all gonna let me know in the comments, all right? So I'll holler at y'all next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with all your friends. If you want to follow me on social media, you can at Watch Dawn of A. I'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.